When the first hour and the last hour stops fighting you. Most people live their day from the middle. They wake up late into noise and fall asleep trying to forget it. Then they wonder why life feels rushed and unfinished at the same time. The truth is simple and uncomfortable. The day is already decided before most people realize it has started, and it is already judged when they think it is over. Think about this. Some mornings feel heavy before you even stand up. Some nights feel restless, even when you did a lot. That is not bad luck. That is cause and effect. What you allow into your mind early shapes how you move all day. What you avoid facing at night follows you into tomorrow. This is not about strict routines or pushing harder. It is about control and awareness, about choosing direction when the mind is clear and listening to the truth when the noise is gone. When the beginning of your day is intentional, the end feels earned. When the end of your day is honest, the next beginning becomes easier. If you want days that feel steady instead of scattered and nights that feel calm instead of crowded, stay with this. What you are about to hear will change how you start your days and how your nights finally let you rest. Number one, take control early, before life reacts. People ask why life feels like it keeps pushing them around. They wake up already tired. The phone is loud. The day feels rushed before it even. By evening, they are worn down and wondering where the day went. That does not happen by accident. Life reacts to what you do early. If you do not take control first, then everything else will step in and take it for you. Morning is the only time of day that still belongs to you, before opinions show up, before demands speak, before the world asks for anything. That is the moment when direction is decided. Most people hand that moment away. They open their eyes and immediately invite noise into their mind. Messages, news, other people's problems. By the time they stand up, they are already behind, and the day senses that weakness. Life reacts fast to hesitation. Control is not something dramatic. It is quiet. It is choosing to sit up instead of staying down. It is choosing to breathe instead of rushing. It is choosing thought instead of panic. When you take control early, you send a signal to yourself. That signal says, today will not happen to me. Today will respond to me. Human beings are emotional creatures. Feelings rise fast in the morning. Doubt sneaks in quietly. Old worries show up without invitation. If you do nothing, those feelings run the day. That is why mornings matter. Early action gives your emotions something to follow. Without action, emotions take the lead, and they rarely choose well. When you wake up and move with intention, your body notices, your mind notices. There is a sense of steadiness that forms. The air feels clearer. Thoughts slow down. You are not chasing the day anymore. You are setting its pace. That calm is not luck. It is earned through early control. People think motivation creates action. In real life, action creates motivation. When you do something small early, you gain confidence. That confidence builds momentum. Momentum changes how decisions feel later. Choices become easier because you already proved something to yourself before the day had a chance to test you. Life reacts strongly to how prepared you are. If you wake up rushed, the day brings more rush. If you wake up distracted, the day adds more noise. If you wake up unfocused, the day pulls you in every direction. But when you wake up grounded, the day meets resistance. Problems still appear, but they do not overwhelm. Pressure still exists, but it does not control you. Evenings tell the truth about mornings. At night, people replay their day in their mind. Regret shows up quietly. Satisfaction shows up quietly too. That feeling is not random. It is the result of how the day began. When mornings lack control, evenings feel heavy. Thoughts spin. Sleep becomes restless. When mornings are owned, evenings soften. The mind rests easier. The body lets go. Taking control early does not require. It requires decision. Decide to rise with purpose instead of reaction. Decide to create space before noise enters. Decide to move before doubt grows loud. These decisions shape the emotional tone of the entire day. Discipline feels different in the morning. It feels lighter. Later in the day, discipline feels heavy because energy is spent. That is why important choices belong early. Waiting costs more effort. Early action costs less and returns more. Most people wait until life pushes them to change. Pressure builds, stress piles up. Then they promise to do better tomorrow. That cycle repeats. The real change happens when tomorrow starts differently. When the first hour looks different, the rest of the day follows. Control is not about forcing. It is about choosing. Choosing what enters your mind. Choosing how fast you move. Choosing what matters first. That choice builds self-respect. Self-respect builds confidence. Confidence changes how life responds to you. Think about the feeling of walking into a day prepared. Your shoulders relax. Your breathing slows. Your thoughts are clearer. You are not guessing anymore. That feeling carries into conversations, into work, into decisions. People feel it around you. Life senses it too. When you delay control, life reacts with urgency. When you claim control, life reacts with cooperation. Opportunities appear clearer. Mistakes shrink. Stress loses its grip, not because the world changed, but because you did. Morning is where leadership begins. You either lead yourself or the day leads you. There is no middle ground. The day does not wait for readiness. It responds to posture. Stand up early, and life stands differently around you. People often say they lack time. Time is not the problem. Direction is. Direction is set early. When direction is clear, time feels available. When direction is missing, time feels stolen. Every evening carries emotional weight. That weight is either pride or regret. Pride comes from knowing you showed up early. Regret comes from knowing you delayed. The mind remembers those choices, even if you try to distract yourself from them. Control early means fewer apologies later, fewer explanations, fewer nights wondering why you feel empty. Early effort protects future peace. This is not about waking up at a certain hour. It is about waking up with awareness. Awareness changes behavior. Behavior shapes results. Results create confidence. Confidence makes evenings calm. When life rakes before you do it, it feels harsh. When you act before life reacts, it feels manageable. The difference is time. Early effort saves emotional energy. You do not need more willpower. You need better timing. Use your strongest mental moment for your most important choices. That moment is the morning. Evenings reward those who prepare early. Sleep becomes deeper. Thoughts settle. The body recovers. The mind stops fighting the day, because the day was handled with intention. Take control early, and the rest of life responds instead of resists. That is not theory. That is lived experience. That is how discipline becomes freedom, and how mornings quietly decide how nights will feel. Number 2. Set your tone before noise enters. The world is loud. It does not ease into your day. It does not ask how ready you are. It speaks fast, and it speaks early. Messages arrive. Opinions wait. Problems line up. If you allow that noise to enter your mind before you set your own tone, then the day is already deciding for you. Most people never notice the moment this happens. They wake up and immediately open the door to everything outside of them. By the time they become aware of themselves, their mood is already shaped. Tone is emotional direction. It is how you feel before you think. It is the inner climate you carry into everything you do. Once that tone is set, it influences how you speak to people, how you react to pressure, how you interpret events. If you do not choose it intentionally, it will be chosen by whatever reaches you first. Silence in the morning is rare and valuable. Even a few quiet minutes can change how the entire day feels. In that space, you hear your own thoughts clearly. You notice tension in your body. You sense what matters before urgency interrupts. That moment is where tone is formed. Calm or rush. Confidence or doubt. Focus or distraction. Those are not random states. They are the result of what you allow into your awareness first. Noise does not just mean sound. It means other people's priorities. It means unfinished business from yesterday. It means worries about outcomes that have not happened. It means comparing your pace to someone else's life. All of that noise competes for your attention. Once it enters unchecked, it pulls your emotions in multiple directions. Setting your tone early creates an inner boundary. That boundary protects your mental space. You are not hiding from reality. You are preparing to face it with steadiness. When your tone is calm, the same situation feels different. When your tone is grounded, the same words land softer. The day does not change, but your experience of it does. People often think they are reacting to circumstance. In truth, they are reacting to their internal state. A rushed tone turns small problems into heavy burdens. A centered tone turns challenges into tasks. That difference decides how much energy the day takes from you. Your nervous system responds to how you when you wake up and immediately engage with screens. Your body stays tense, breathing becomes shallow, thoughts speed up. When you pause and ground yourself, your body relaxes. That physical shift influences your emotional resilience. You become harder to shake. Noise creates urgency without meaning. Tone creates meaning without urgency. One drains you, the other sustains you. When you begin your day grounded, you choose what deserves attention. Everything else can wait. Emotional clarity does not come later. It comes first or not at all. Once the day gains momentum, it is harder to slow down. Early illness gives your mind structure. That structure helps you filter what matters later. People say they lose patience during the day. Patience is not lost. It is spent. When your tone is unsettled early, you spend patience fast. When your tone is easy early, patience lasts longer. Setting your tone means deciding how you want to feel regardless of what appears. Calm does not mean passive. It means present. Focus does not mean rigid. It means clear. Confidence does not mean loud. It means settled. The mind needs direction before stimulation. Without direction, stimulation overwhelms. That overwhelm shows up as irritability, fatigue, and distraction. With direction, stimulation becomes manageable. You respond instead of react. Every interaction during the day is filtered through your tone. Decisions feel stressful or simple based on it. Even mistakes feel different. With the right tone, mistakes become information instead of shame. Noise has a way of pulling attention outward. Tone pulls attention inward first. When you connect inward early, you move through the day with awareness. That awareness allows better choices. Better choices create better evenings. Most regrets are not about what happened. They're about how it was handled emotionally. Emotional handling begins before events. That is why mornings matter. When you set your tone intentionally, you give yourself permission to move at your own pace. You are no longer chasing the energy of others. You are grounded in your own rhythm. That rhythm carries into your work, your relationships, and your rest. Evenings reveal the cost of unmanaged noise, a restless mind, a tired body, a sense of emptiness despite being busy. Those are signs the day entered before direction was chosen. When you begin grounded, evenings feel earned. The mind slows naturally. Sleep comes easy. Reflection feels honest instead of harsh. Setting your tone does not require isolation. It requires intention. A few moments of awareness, a few steady breaths, a conscious decision about how you want to show up. Life will always bring noise. That will not change. What can change is how prepared you are when it arrives. Preparation creates confidence. Confidence reduces emotional friction. You do not need to control the day. You need to control your entrance into it. That entrance determines how everything else feels. When your tone is clear, your boundaries become clear. You say no without guilt. You say yes with purpose. You are not pulled into unnecessary conflict. You conserve energy. Noise is loud, but it is not powerful. It only gains power when it enters an unprepared mind. A steady tone weakens its effect. Every morning offers a reset, a chance to choose again, a chance to lead your inner world before the outer world demands attention. Set your tone first, and the day responds differently. Conversations soften. Pressure feels manageable. Mistakes lose their sting. Progress feels possible. This is how mornings quietly shape evenings. This is how inner clarity becomes outer stability. This is how life stops feeling chaotic and starts feeling direct. Number 3. Use mornings to reduce later chaos. Chaos rarely arrives all at once. It builds quietly. It starts as small delays, missed priorities, unclear decisions, emotional reactions that pile up. By afternoon, people feel overwhelmed, and by evening, they feel drained. They believe the day was unfair. In reality, the day unfolded exactly as it was set up. Mornings decide whether disorder grows or shrinks. The morning is the only part of the day where the mind is still clean. Thoughts have not yet tangled. Emotions have not yet been pulled in every direction. That clean state is powerful. It allows you to organize before pressure shows up. When you skip that chance, disorder begins early and multiplies as the hours pass. Later chaos is often the result of early neglect, unanswered questions, undefined priorities, loose plans. When these are ignored in the morning, they demand attention later. When energy is low, that is when stress rises. That is when simple tasks feel heavy. That is when people snap at others and regret it afterward. Using mornings wisely is not about rushing through a list. It is about clearing mental space. When you clarify what matters first, you reduce confusion later. Confusion is exhausting. Clarity is calming. The brain relaxes when it knows where to focus. Most people react to chaos instead of preventing it. They wait until problems appear. They put out fires all day. That approach drains confidence. Prevention feels boring, but it creates freedom. Morning preparation is prevention. When you decide early what deserves attention, you stop giving energy to everything else. That alone reduces mental noise. Decisions no longer stack up. You stop negotiating with yourself all day. That inner negotiation is a major source of fatigue. Chaos feels loud because too many things demand attention at once. Morning structure lowers the volume. You are not doing more. You are choosing better. That choice reduces emotional overload. People underestimate how small early actions affect later hours. A brief review of responsibilities, a clear plan for energy use, a decision to handle one important task first. These simple steps reduce pressure later. The mind trusts itself more when direction is clear. When mornings are rushed, the emphasis is on survival. When mornings are intentional, the emphasis is on order. Order does not mean rigidity. It means knowing what can wait and what cannot. Later chaos often comes from forgotten commitment. When something lingers in the back of the mind, it drains attention. Morning awareness brings those commitments into the open. Once they are acknowledged, they stop pulling at your focus. Emotional chaos builds when people feel behind. Feeling behind creates urgency. Urgency leads to poor decision. Early clarity prevents that cycle. You move through the day at a steady pace instead of sprinting randomly. Mornings offer a rare chance to think without pressure. Use that time to simplify. Simplification is powerful. Fewer priorities mean fewer conflicts. Fewer conflicts mean calmer evening. Many people try to fix chaos at night. They reflect when they are exhausted. They promise changes when they are depleted. That rarely lasts. Real change happens when the mind is fresh. During the day, discipline costs more. Early in the day, discipline feels light. That is why mornings should hold the hardest thinking. When thinking is done early, action becomes smoother. Chaos also shows up emotionally. Irritation, impatience, restlessness. These feelings are signals of mental overload. Overload usually begins with unclear morning. When you start the day with intention, your reactions soften. You are not surprised by responsibilities. You are not thrown off by interruptions. You expected movement. That expectation stabilizes your emotions. Lies will always bring unpredictability. Preparation does not remove uncertainty. It reduces its impact. When your internal order is strong, external disorder has less power. Evenings reflect how much chaos was carried. A scattered day leads to restless nights. Thoughts replay. Tension stays in the body. Calm mornings reduce this burden. The mind feels finished instead of frayed. People often blame work for exhaustion. The real cause is unmanaged attention. Attention scattered all day leads to burnout. Attention directed early leads to endurance. Using mornings well also builds trust with yourself. You know you handled what mattered. That trust reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from doubting your own follow-through. Chaos feeds on delay. Delay grows when mornings lack structure. Early action shortens the list of worries. Shorter lists feel manageable. When you begin the day organized, the world feels less demanding. You are not reacting to every request. You evaluate before responding. That evaluation protects your energy. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates calm. Calm prevents chaos from spreading. Mornings are not about control over life. They are about control over attention. Attention is your most valuable resource. Once spent carelessly, it cannot be recovered. Later chaos often feels personal. People think something is wrong with them. In truth, they simply skipped preparation. That is a fixable issue. Even small morning rituals reduce uncertainty. A quiet moment to review the day. A decision about effort. a pause before engagement. These habits anchor the mind. When the mind is anchored, emotions stabilize. Stable emotions lead to better choices. Better choices reduce messes that need cleaning later. Most stress is delayed decision-making. Mornings are the best time to decide. Decide early and the rest of the day follows with less friction. When you own the morning, the day unfolds with order. When you surrender the morning, the day fragments. Using mornings to reduce chaos is not dramatic. It is practical. It is grounded. It respects how the mind works. Fresh minds create structure. Tired minds create disorder. Evenings become gentler when days are guided early. The body relaxes sooner. Sleep comes easier. Thoughts settle without force. This is how simple mornings protect peaceful nights. This is how early clarity prevents late confusion. This is how discipline becomes kindness to your future self. Mornings do not need to be perfect. They need to be intentional. Intention sets direction. Direction limits chaos. Use the morning to clear the path and the rest of the day walks it with less resistance. Number 4, choose direction early to avoid drifting. Drifting is quiet. It does not announce itself. It feels harmless at first. A day without a clear plan. A morning that starts without a decision. Time passes and nothing seems wrong. Then weeks go by. Months move. One day you look back and wonder how you ended up so far from what you once wanted. That did not happen suddenly. It happened early and unnoticed. Human beings drift when direction is missing. The mind does not like emptiness. When you do not choose where to aim, it will follow whatever pulls hardest. That pull is usually comfort, convenience, or distraction. None of those lead anywhere meaningful. They simply keep you occupied while time moves forward. Direction is a decision. It is not a feeling. Waiting to feel ready is one of the most common ways people lose momentum. Feelings change. Direction steadies. When you decide early what matters, your actions fall into place more easily. Morning is the best time to choose direction because the mind is not yet crowded. Later in the day, opinions, pressures, and problems compete for attention. Early on, you can still hear yourself think. That clarity is valuable. It allows honest choices instead of reactive ones. Drifting feels easier than deciding. Decisions require responsibility. Direction means you must face trade-offs. Many people avoid that discomfort. They tell themselves they will see how the day goes. The day goes somewhere anyway. It just might not go where you view. When direction is clear, small actions gain meaning. Effort feels purposeful. Without direction, effort feels random. Random effort exhausts the mind because it never feels complete. Purposeful effort energizes because it moves you closer to something defined. Most frustration comes from motion without meaning. Busy days that lead nowhere. Full schedules that produce emptiness. That frustration builds quietly. People blame circumstances. The real issue is absence of direction. Choosing direction early changes how you evaluate choices later. When something appears, you can ask a simple question. Does this move me where I decided to go today? If the answer is no, you let it pass without guilt. That clarity protects your time. Drifting steals confidence. When you cannot explain why you are doing something, you begin to doubt yourself. Confidence grows when actions align with chosen direction. You trust yourself more because your behavior matches your intent. Direction does not need to be grand. It can be simple. One area to improve. One task to handle fully. One behavior to practice. Simplicity strengthens focus. Focus reduces distraction. When mornings begin without direction, emotions lead. Emotions are influenced by mood, fatigue, and comparison. They do not care about long-term outcomes. Direction brings reason into the picture. Reason steadies emotion. People often confuse flexibility with drifting. Flexibility still requires a chosen path. Drifting has none. Flexibility adapts within direction. Drifting reacts without purpose. Later in the day, energy drops. Decision-making becomes harder. That is why direction must be present early. Once decided, you do not need to rethink all day. You simply follow through. Evenings reveal whether direction was chosen. If the day feels scattered, direction was absent. If the day feels complete, even with unfinished work, Direction was present. Choosing direction early also reduces regret. Regret often comes from realizing time was spent without intention. When direction is clear, you may still make mistakes, but they feel instructive rather than painful. Drifting creates emotional fog. You feel busy but unsatisfied. Direction clears that fog. You know why you are tired. You know what the there was for. Life responds to clarity. When you are clear, others respond more directly. Conversations become efficient. Requests become easier to handle. You stop apologizing for your boundaries. Many people think they lack discipline. In reality, they lack direction. Discipline is easier when you know why you are acting. Without a reason, discipline feels forced. Direction early in the day sets a mental anchor. That anchor keeps you steady when distractions appear. Without it, attention drifts toward whatever feels easiest. The mind prefers certainty. Direction provides that certainty. It reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from not knowing what deserves attention. Choosing direction early is an act of respect toward yourself. It says your time matters, your energy matters, your future matters. When you wake up and decide what the day stands for, you step into leadership over your own life. That leadership shows up quietly, in how you speak, in how you move, in how you listen. Drifting feels passive, but it has consequences. Direction feels active, and it creates results. Results build confidence. Confidence encourages further growth. Most people wait for direction to appear. Direction appears after decision, not before. Clarity follows commitment. When mornings are intentional, days feel shorter but fuller. Time feels used, not lost. Evenings feel honest, because effort was guided. Choosing direction does not eliminate uncertainty. It reduces confusion. Confusion is heavier than uncertainty. You can move forward without knowing everything when direction is clear. Drifting leads to comparison. Direction leads to progress. When you know where you are going, others become less distracting. The quiet power of a directed morning is hard to describe until experienced. The mind feels aligned. The body moves with purpose. Small tasks feel connected. Direction early prevents emotional wandering. You are less likely to chase validation or approval. Your sense of worth comes from alignment rather than reaction. Even when plans change, direction remains. You adjust without losing yourself. Drifting loses itself with every change. Choosing direction early is not about control. It is about intention. Intention gives shape to effort. When you close the day knowing you followed a chosen direction, sleep comes easier. The mind rests because it recognizes completion. This is how mornings prevent slow loss of purpose. This is how direction protects against drift. This is how small early decisions shape meaningful days and steadier lives. Number 5. Act with clarity before emotions interfere. Emotions are powerful, but they are not wise planners. They react fast, and they react loud. They are shaped by sleep, hunger, memory, and fear. If you wait for emotions to settle before acting, the day will already be halfway gone. That is how people lose momentum without realizing it. They do not choose poorly. They delay until emotions choose for them. Clarity exists before emotion gets involved. Early in the day, the mind is quieter. Thoughts are simpler. Judgment is cleaner. That is the window where wise action belongs. Once the day fills up, emotions begin to argue. Doubt questions effort. Comfort suggests delay. Frustration demands shortcuts. None of those voices care about long-term results. Acting with clarity means acting before emotional noise clouds judgment. It means trusting reason before feelings start negotiating. Feelings are important, but they are not leaders. They follow behavior more reliably than behavior follows feelings. Most regret comes from emotional decisions. Words spoken in irritation, tasks avoided due to discomfort, opportunities ignored because of fear. These moments rarely happen early. They happen later, when emotions have gained strength. When you act early, you reduce emotional weight. Decisions feel lighter. Effort feels cleaner. You are not fighting yourself. You are moving forward while the mind is still aligned. Clarity is not complicated. It is knowing what matters next. It is understanding the cost of delay. It is recognizing that waiting rarely improves the situation. Early action is often imperfect, but it is honest. Emotions interfere when stakes feel high. They magnify consequences. They exaggerate risk. Acting early keeps perspective intact. You see tasks for what they are instead of what fear paints them to be. People often say they need motivation. Motivation fades quickly. Clarity lasts longer. When you know what needs to be done, you do not need to feel inspired. You need to begin. The mind respects action. When you move early, the mind follows. Confidence builds because you proved reliability to yourself. That confidence weakens emotional resistance later. Emotions grow stronger when they are ignored. Acting early addresses issues before they swell. A conversation handled calmly early prevents resentment later. A task completed early prevents stress at night. When emotions take control, decisions become personal. Everything feels heavy. Acting with clarity keeps decisions practical. You respond to facts instead of moods. Morning clarity allows you to separate identity from outcome. You act because it is right, not because you feel like it. That separation builds maturity. Many people confuse listening to emotions with obeying them. Emotions provide information. They do not provide strategy. Strategy comes from clarity. Early action prevents emotional buildup. Pressure accumulates. When tasks pile up, each delay adds weight. Clearing responsibilities early reduces mental load. When the day begins without action, emotions wander. Wandering emotions search for stimulation. That leads to distraction, comparison, and impatience. Acting early grounds emotions. They settle because movement provides certainty. Uncertainty fuels anxiety. Action reduces it. Even small actions matter. A single completed task builds trust. Trust in yourself is calming. Calm emotions interfere less. Emotions tend to focus on comfort. Clarity focuses on growth. Growth requires effort. Effort feels easier before emotions protest. Late-day decisions often carry regret. Early decisions carry ownership. Ownership builds self-respect. People who act early sleep better, not because the day was perfect, but because they faced it honestly. Clarity also protects relationships. Emotional reactions damage trust. Early thoughtful responses preserve it. When you wait, emotions rewrite the story. Tasks seem harder. Conversations seem risky. Acting early avoids these distortions. Emotions are strongest when energy is low. Energy drops later. That is why clarity must lead. This is not about ignoring feelings. It is about sequencing. Think first, act early, feel later. Feelings often catch up in positive ways. Pride follows effort. Relief follows completion. Peace follows responsibility. People who rely on emotions live in cycle. High motivation, then deep resistance. People who rely on clarity live steadily. Acting early does not guarantee success. It guarantees honesty. Honest effort produces learning. Learning produces growth. When emotions interfere, the mind justifies delay. Clarity exposes excuses gently, but firmly. You do not need to conquer emotions. You need to outrun their interference. Early action keeps life simple. Simple days feel lighter. Evenings reveal whether clarity led. If the mind is calm, clarity was present. If the mind is restless, emotions dominated. Clarity is available every morning. It does not require talent or luck. It requires willingness. When you choose to act before emotions interfere, you become consistent. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence steadies emotion. That is how discipline becomes self-care. That is how mornings shape emotional health. That is how clarity protects progress. Act early. Think clearly. Let emotions follow your lead instead of steering your life. Number 6. Let evenings expose how mornings went. Evenings do not lie. They quietly tell the story of the day without needing explanation. When the noise fades and movement slows, the truth rises. How you feel at night is rarely about what happened in the last hour. It is about how the day was handled from the start. The evening becomes a mirror, and that mirror reflects the morning more clearly than memory ever could. People often judge their days by outcomes. Finished tasks, missed goals, unexpected events. But the body and mind judge differently. They respond to effort, alignment, and honesty. In the evening, when there is nothing left to chase, the nervous system finally speaks. Restlessness, tension, and regret signal something important was ignored early. Calm satisfaction and quiet tiredness suggest the opposite. The evening exposes patterns that are easy to deny during the day. When activity fills every moment, there is no space to feel. At night, feelings step forward. They ask simple questions. Was today intentional? Was energy respected? Were priorities clear? These questions cannot be argued away when the day is over. If mornings were rushed, evenings feel scattered. Thoughts jump without order. Sleep feels shallow. The body holds on to the day because it never felt resolved. This is not punishment. It is feedback. The system is asking for a different beginning next time. When mornings are thoughtful, evenings soften naturally. There is a sense of completion, even if everything was not finished. Completion is emotional, not logistical. It comes from knowing effort was placed where it mattered. Evenings reveal whether attention was spent wisely. A heavy mind often points to attention pulled in too many directions. A settled mind points to focus. That focus starts early. It cannot be created at the end. People try to fix their night. They search for better routines, quieter rooms, calming habits. These help, but they are not the root. The root lives earlier. Nights respond to days. Days respond to mornings. The body remembers how it was treated. When mornings ignored physical needs, evenings hold tension. When mornings honored movement and pacing, evenings allow rest. The body does not forget neglect. It also does not forget care. Evenings also expose emotional honesty. If emotions were avoided during the day, they surface stronger at night. Avoidance delays but does not erase. Facing responsibilities early prevents emotional backlog. The mind wants closure. Closure comes from aligned action. When you act in line with intention, the mind rests. When actions contradict values, the mind keeps working. People often replay conversations at night. That replay is rarely about words. It is about timing and presence. Were you centered or reactive? That state was set long before the conversation happened. Evenings show whether discipline was practiced or postponed. Postponement leaves residue. Discipline leaves relief. A restless evening often means priorities were unclear. Clear priorities reduce internal conflict. Conflict drains energy. There is also a quiet pride that appears in the evening when the day was handled with care. It does not shout. It sits gently. That feeling cannot be manufactured. It must be earned early. Evenings reveal whether you led the day or followed it. Following creates fatigue. Leading creates tiredness. With peace, sleep quality is a powerful indicator. Difficulty resting often points to unresolved effort. The mind stays alert because it does not trust that tomorrow will be different. When mornings include planning, evenings include trust. Trust allows the nervous system to release control. People confuse exhaustion with productivity. True productivity leaves you tired, not calm. False productivity leaves you wired and empty. The evening also exposes whether self-respect was practiced. Did you honor your word to yourself? Did you protect what mattered? Those answers show up as ease or tension. Evenings cannot be fooled by distraction. Screens, noise, and busyness only delay awareness. Eventually, silence arrives. That silence is not an enemy. It is a teacher. It shows you where alignment was lost or maintained. If evenings feel heavy, it is an invitation, not a verdict. It suggests adjusting the beginning, not punishing the end. Reflection works best when it is honest and gentle. The evening is not for judgment. It is for noticing patterns. When you notice patterns, you gain power. You stop guessing. You begin designing. Evenings also highlight emotional consistency. Big mood swings often come from unstructured starts. Stable starts create stable finishes. The evening body scan tells a story. Tight shoulders, rushed breathing, unsettled stomach. These signals trace back to how the day was entered. When mornings respected pacing, evenings respect recovery. Many people chase comfort at night because they were uncomfortable all day. Comfort then becomes avoidance. That cycle continues until mornings change. Evenings reward preparation. Preparation creates peace. Evenings avoidance. Avoidance creates noise, but punishment is not the right word. It is cause and effect. The beauty of evenings is their honesty. They ask nothing. They reveal everything. When you accept that feedback without defensiveness, growth becomes simple. You stop blaming circumstances. You start adjusting habit. People who listen to their evenings grow faster. They learn from feeling instead of fighting it. A calm evening is not the result of an easy day. It is the result of a well-directed one. Evenings also expose emotional maturity. Mature effort leaves space for rest. Immature effort burns every reserve. You cannot rush peace. It arrives when the system feels safe. Safety comes from predictability and intention. Mornings create predictability. Evenings reward it. If evenings are chaotic, mornings were neglected. If evenings are gentle, mornings were respected. This pattern repeats daily. That is good news. It means change is always close. You do need to overhaul your life. You need to listen to your nights. They tell you exactly how your mornings went. They tell you where discipline slipped. They tell you where clarity helped. They tell you what tomorrow needs. When you stop fighting that message, life becomes simpler. Mornings design, evenings reveal. Use that truth. Let the night teach you how to begin again. Number 7. Judge days by how nights feel. People often judge their days by how busy they were or how much they checked off a list. They count hours worked and tasks finished. That seems logical on the surface, but it misses something deeper. The real measure of a day shows up at night. When the house grows quiet and the body slows down, the truth steps forward. The feeling you carry into the night tells you far more than any schedule ever could. Nights remove distractions. There is no audience to impress, no momentum to hide behind. The mind finally gets space to respond honestly. If the night feels restless, something earlier was off. If the night feels calm, something earlier was aligned. That feeling is not random, it is earned. A good night does not mean the day was easy. Some of the hardest days still end peacefully. A difficult conversation handled with care can leave the heart light. A demanding task completed with focus can bring deep rest. Effort does not disturb the night. Misalignment does. When people say they cannot shut their mind off at night, it is rarely about thinking too much. It is about unresolved tension. That tension often comes from avoiding something that mattered or reacting in ways that did not match personal standards. The night remembers what the day tried to forget. If you push through the day ignoring signals, the night brings them back. Tight muscles, shallow breathing, scattered thoughts. These are messages. They are not punishments. They are feedback. Judging a day by how the night feels shifts priorities. It moves the focus from speed to quality, from appearance to alignment, from busyness to meaning. Many people chase excitement during the day and then chase calm at night. That balance rarely works. Calm at night comes from calm leadership earlier. Excitement without direction leaves residue. A peaceful night often follows a day where attention was respected. When you stayed present, when you did not rush everything, when you said no when needed. Those choices do not always feel comfortable in the moment, but they feel right later. The body is honest at night. It releases when it feels safe. Safety comes from predictability and integrity. When actions matched values, the body relaxes. People who ignore nights lose guidance. Nights offer correction. They show where energy leaked. They highlight emotional debts. Listening prevents repetition. Judging days by nights also removes comparison. You stop measuring yourself against others. You measure against your own sense of peace. That is a fair standard. A calm night builds confidence. You trust yourself more when the day ends cleanly. That trust carries into the next morning. A noisy night often signals internal conflict. Too many priorities. Too many compromises. Too much yes when no was needed. The mind struggles to rest when it feels unfinished. Finished does not mean complete. It means honest. Honest effort leaves you tired but settled. Avoidance leaves you wired. When nights feel heavy, people often blame stress. Stress is a symptom. The cause is usually misused attention. Judging days by nights encourages better decisions earlier. You start asking how this will feel later. That question improves judgment. Impulse feels good briefly. Discipline feels good later. Nights reward discipline. The night is where self-respect speaks softly. It shows appreciation when you lived well. It withholds comfort when standards slipped. You cannot argue with how you feel at night. You can only learn from it. Many people distract themselves at night because they do not like the feedback. That only delays growth. A gentle night teaches patience. A restless night teaches adjustment. People who learn to read their nights grow faster. They do not need dramatic failures. Small discomfort guides them. Nights also reflect emotional boundaries. If you absorbed everyone else's issues, the night feels crowded. If you protected your energy, the night feels open. When nights feel light, you wake up stronger. When nights feel heavy, mornings feel harder. That cycle matters. Judging days by nights builds long-term health. The nervous system needs regular closure. Closure comes from follow-through and self-honesty. When the night feels right, you know the day was used well, even if nothing flashy happened. Some of the best days look ordinary from the outside, but feel complete on the inside. That completeness is worth more than praise. When you learn to value how nights feel, you stop chasing empty wins. You begin designing days that support rest instead of stealing from it. Nights are the quiet scorecard of life. They do not care about titles or applause. They care about alignment. If the night is calm, you lived in agreement with yourself. If the night is restless, something needs attention. Both are useful. Listen closely. Judge wisely. Let the night teach you how to live the day. That awareness changes everything. Number 8. Use evenings to correct daily direction. Evenings are not meant to be an escape from the day. They are meant to be a pause that restores direction. Most people treat the evening as a reward for surviving the day. They numb themselves. They distract themselves. They try to forget what went wrong. That habit feels good briefly, but it leaves tomorrow unchanged. Real progress comes when evenings are used to adjust the path rather than avoid it. Every day drifts slightly. No matter how disciplined you are, small deviations happen. Conversations pull attention. Emotions influence choices. Unexpected events change plans. That is normal. What matters is whether those deviations are noticed and corrected. The evening is the best moment for that correction, because the mind is no longer under pressure. Correction does not mean criticism. It means observation. It means asking simple, honest questions. Where did my attention go today? What drained energy unnecessarily? What mattered that I postponed? These questions are not heavy when asked calmly. They are freeing. People often wait for big failures to change direction. By then, habits are deeply formed. Evenings offer small daily corrections. Small corrections prevent big consequences. When the day is active, the mind is defensive. It justifies choices. It protects ego. At night, defense is lower. You are more willing to see reality as it is. That openness is valuable. It allows learning without shame. Correcting direction in the evening keeps mistakes from repeating. Without reflection, the same patterns return. With reflection, patterns lose power. Many people confuse reflection with rumination. Rumination is emotional. Reflection is practical. Reflection looks for adjustments, not blame. When you review the day calmly, you separate behavior from identity. You see what happened without attacking yourself. That separation preserves confidence. Evenings give context. You can see the full arc of the day. Morning intentions, afternoon actions, evening results. That full picture is hard to grasp while the day is unfolding. Correction works best when it is specific, not vague promises. Clear insights, one behavior to adjust, one priority to protect, one distraction to limit. This approach turns evenings into guidance instead of guilt. Guilt drains energy. Guidance restores it. Using evenings well builds emotional intelligence. You learn how your mood influences decisions. You notice trigger. Awareness reduces their grip. People who skip evening reflection rely on motivation to improve. Motivation is unreliable. Reflection is consistent. Correcting direction at night also improves sleep. The mind rests easier when it knows lessons were learned. Unlearned lessons keep the mind alert. When you close the day with clarity, tomorrow feels less uncertain. Uncertainty creates anxiety. Adjustment creates confidence. Evenings are also where values reconnect. During the day, values compete with convenience. At night, you can assess alignment. Did actions match standard? That check strengthens integrity. Integrity is quiet but powerful. It builds self-trust. Self-trust reduces stress. Many people think planning belongs only to mornings. Planning without reflection repeats errors. Reflection without planning stalls growth. Evenings bridge the two. Correction does not require long sessions. A few focused minutes are enough. Consistency matters more than duration. When you use evenings to adjust direction, you stop carrying mistakes forward. You leave them behind as information instead of weight. This habit also builds patience. You stop expecting perfection. You expect progress. Progress feels satisfying. Perfection feels fragile. Evenings remind you that improvement is a process. Daily feedback loops create steady growth. People who avoid reflection often feel stuck. They move a lot, but learn little. Movement without learning leads nowhere. Correction also improves relationships. You notice where communication failed. You choose better approaches next time. Without correction, resentment builds. With correction, understanding grows. Evenings are the right time to ask what actually mattered today, not what looked important. What felt important when everything quieted down. That question refines priorities. When priorities sharpen, mornings become easier. You waste less time deciding. Evenings that include adjustment create mornings with purpose. The mind likes closure. Correction provides closure. It says the day was processed. Nothing left unresolved. Unresolved days accumulate tension. Resolved days accumulate wisdom. People who correct daily rarely feel lost. They may stumble, but they recalibrate quickly. Using evenings to adjust direction turns mistakes into mentors. Each day teaches something useful. That mindset removes fear of failure. Failure becomes feedback. Evenings also reveal energy patterns. What activities drained you? What restored you? That knowledge guides better scheduling. When you ignore energy signals, burnout follows. When you respect them, endurance grows. Teaching direction is an act of self-respect. It says your life is worth attention. Attention given daily compounds over time. Small adjustments today prevent regret later. Evenings are quiet for a reason. Quiet helps truth surface. You do not need harsh honesty. You need clear honesty. Clear honesty leads to gentle change. Gentle change lasts. When evenings are used well, mornings improve naturally. The system becomes self-correcting. Life stops feeling chaotic. It starts feeling guided. Guidance does not come from control. It comes from awareness. Awareness grows in stillness. That stillness lives in the evening. Use it wisely. Correct gently. Begin again with clarity. That is how daily direction stays aligned. That is how evenings shape better tomorrow. Number 9. Close nights with accountability, not distraction. Distraction is easy at night. It waits patiently for you. Screens glow. Noise fills the room. Entertainment promises relief. After a long day, distraction feels deserved. Most people reach for it automatically. They believe it helps them unwind. What it really does is delay honesty. It pushes accountability into tomorrow, where it quietly weakens momentum. Accountability at night is not punishment. It is clarity. It is the moment when you look at the day without defense, not to attack yourself, but to face reality. Reality is where growth begins. Distraction hides reality. Accountability reveals it. When the day ends, the mind naturally seeks closure. If closure is avoided, the mind stays active. That is why many people feel tired, but restless. Their body wants rest, but their mind wants resolution. Distraction numbs discomfort, but it does not remove it. It lowers awareness temporarily. When awareness returns, the same issues remain. Accountability handles issues directly, so they do not need to follow you into sleep. Closing the night with accountability means asking simple questions. Did I act in line with my values? Where did I fall short? Where did I show up? These questions are grounding. They bring you back to yourself. Many people avoid accountability because they confuse it with guilt. Guilt attacks identity. Accountability examines behavior. One weakens confidence, the other builds it. When you hold yourself accountable kindly, you strengthen self-respect. You trust yourself more because you know you will face the truth. Distraction creates a gap between who you are and who you want to be. Accountability closes that gap. Evenings shape mornings. When you end the day honestly, you wake up lighter. When you end the day distracted, you wake up carrying unfinished emotional business. Accountability does not require long reflection. It requires presence. A few minutes of awareness can change how tomorrow unfolds. People who distract themselves nightly often feel stuck. Days blur together. Progress feels slow. That is not a motivation issue. It is an awareness issue. When you close the night with accountability, you create a clean transition. The day is processed. Lessons are noted. The mind feels complete. Completion is calming. The nervous system relaxes when it senses order. Distraction keeps the nervous system alert. It continues stimulation. When the body needs release, accountability also helps separate effort from outcome. You can acknowledge good effort, even if results were imperfect. That builds resilience. Resilience grows when you face reality regularly. Avoidance weakens it. At night, the environment is quieter. That quiet supports reflection. It allows truth to surface gently. Many people fill that quiet because silence feels uncomfortable. Silence reveals inner dialogue. That dialogue becomes clearer with practice. Accountability builds emotional strength. You learn to sit with thoughts without escaping. This skill carries into the day. You react as you choose more deliberately. Distraction trains avoidance. Avoidance spreads into daytime decisions. Difficult conversations are postponed. Important tasks are delayed. Accountability trains responsibility. Responsibility feels heavy initially, but lightens over time. When you own your choices, they stop owning you. Closing the night with accountability also improves discipline. Discipline feels fair when you assess yourself honestly. People often hold themselves to vague standards. That creates frustration. Clear accountability creates improvement. Clear accountability focuses on actions, not feelings. Feelings fluctuate. Actions are within influence. When you focus on actions, you regain a sense of control. Evenings are where identity is reinforced. You either confirm your standards or compromise them. Compromise without awareness weakens integrity. Accountability strengthens it. Integrity brings peace. Peace supports rest. Distraction offers pleasure. Accountability offers peace. Pleasure fades quickly. Peace lasts longer. Accountability also helps you forgive yourself properly. Forgiveness without accountability leads to repetition. Accountability with forgiveness leads to change. And you acknowledge mistakes and choose adjustments. Shame loses its grip. Shame thrives in avoidance. It weakens in awareness. Closing nights honestly also sharpens priorities. You see where time went. You notice what mattered. That insight guides tomorrow. Without that insight, mornings start scattered. Accountability creates continuity between days. Each day builds on the last. Distraction breaks continuity. Each day starts from zero. People who grow steadily rarely rely on motivation. They rely on consistent self-review. Self-review does not mean harshness. It means respect. Respecting yourself enough to face your actions is powerful. When you avoid accountability, you send a message that your actions do not matter. That message drains motivation. When you practice accountability, you reinforce meaning. Meaning fuels effort. Evens are a natural checkpoint. Ignoring checkpoints leads to drifting. Accountability prevents drift. It keeps you aligned with long-term direction. Distraction pulls attention away from direction. Closing the night with accountability does not remove joy. It deepens it. Joy feels better when it rests on honesty. The mind relaxes when it knows nothing is being ignored. Sleep improves when the day is resolved. Resolved days lead to stronger mornings. Strong mornings reduce the need for distraction at night. This creates a healthy cycle. You do not need to remove all energy. You need to place accountability first. 5 honest minutes change how the rest of the night feels. Those minutes protect your future energy. Accountability is an act of leadership over your own life. Leadership begins in private moments. Evenings are private moments. Use them wisely. Close the day cleanly. Choose awareness over avoidance. Choose honesty over escape. That choice shapes who you become. That choice decides how tomorrow begins. Number 10, improve mornings by respecting evenings. Most people try to fix their mornings without ever looking at their evenings. They search for better routines, earlier alarms, stronger discipline. They push themselves harder at the start of the day and wonder why it never lasts. The truth is simple and often ignored. Mornings are built the night before. If evenings are careless, mornings pay the price. If evenings are respected, mornings respond with strength. Respecting the evening is an act of intelligence. It means understanding how the mind and body recover. Energy does not reset automatically. It restores when it is allowed to. When evenings are chaotic, rushed, or overstimulated, the body stays alert. Sleep becomes shallow. The mind never fully settles. Morning then arrives with resistance instead of readiness. Many people wake up tired and blame the morning. The real issue started hours earlier. Late decisions, late distractions, late stimulation. These choices quietly steal tomorrow's clarity. The morning then feels heavy before it even begins. Respecting evenings means knowing when to slow down. It means creating space between effort and rest. The body needs signals that the day is ending. Without those signals, it stays in work mode. Evenings teach the nervous system what to expect. When evenings are frantic, the nervous system remains tense. When evenings are calm, the nervous system relaxes. Relaxation allows deep rest. Deep rest creates clear mornings. People often treat evenings as leftover time, whatever remains after work and obligations. That mindset undervalues their importance. Evenings are not leftovers, they are preparation. Preparation does not mean rigid routines. It means thoughtful closure. It means reducing stimulation. It means giving the mind permission to slow. The quality of your thinking in the morning depends on the quality of your rest at night. Rest is not just sleep. It is mental release. It is emotional settling. When evenings are filled with noise, the mind keeps processing. Thoughts spill into sleep. Sleep becomes fragmented. Morning arrives with mental clutter. Respecting evenings clears that clutter. The mind feels lighter because it finished the day properly. Many people chase productivity in the morning while sabotaging recovery at night. That imbalance leads to burnout. Sustainable growth respects both ends of the day. Evenings influence emotional tone. When you end the day peacefully, you wake up with patience. When you end the day stressed, you wake up reactive. Morning discipline feels easier when the nervous system is rested. When evenings are respected, discipline feels natural. When evenings are ignored, discipline feels forced. Respecting evenings also improves focus. Focus depends on non-freshness. Mental freshness requires disengagement from constant input. People often consume information until sleep. News, social media, entertainment. The brain does not distinguish importance. It processes everything. That processing costs energy. Reducing input at night preserves energy. Preserved energy shows up as clarity in the morning. Evenings also shape self-trust. When you honor rest, you send a message that your well-being matters. That message strengthens self-respect. Self-respect affects how you approach the day. You make better choices when you value yourself. Respecting evenings does not mean avoiding reflection. It means choosing gentle reflection. Harsh self-criticism at night agitates the mind. Calm assessment settles it. When you review the day with kindness, the mind relaxes. When you attack yourself, the mind stays alert. Mornings benefit from emotional neutrality. Neutrality allows focus. Emotional residue clouds judgment. Respecting evenings clears emotional residue. That tension surfaces in the morning as resistance. Respecting evenings allows release. Release supports renewal. Evenings are also where boundaries matter. Saying no late protects energy early. Overcommitting at night steals from the next day. Learning when to stop is a skill. Stopping does not mean laziness. It means wisdom. Wisdom understands timing. Effort has seasons. Rest has seasons. Ignoring rest reduces the quality of effort. Respecting evenings also improves consistency. Consistency relies on sustainable habits. Unsustainable evenings break consistency. People often try to compensate with caffeine or pressure. These provide short-term push but long-term cost. Natural energy comes from balanced cycles. Evenings complete the cycle. When evenings are respected, mornings feel welcoming instead of demanding. The mind wakes up curious instead of defensive. Curiosity supports growth. Defensiveness blocks it. Evenings that include quiet time improve memory consolidation. The brain organizes information during rest. That organization improves learning. Learning feels easier in the morning when the brain completed its work at night. Respecting evenings also reduces decision fatigue. The brain recovers decision-making capacity during rest. When evenings are overstimulated, decision fatigue carries over. Morning choices feel exhausting. Clear evenings create clear mornings. Evenings also influence mood regulation. Emotional regulation depends on sleep quality. Sleep quality depends on evening habits. Respecting evenings stabilizes mood. Stable mood improves relationships. Relationships feel smoother when mornings begin calmly. People underestimate how small evening choices accumulate. 10 minutes less stimulation, 10 minutes more quiet. These small changes compound. Compounding habits build momentum. Momentum feels different when it is supported by rest. Respecting evenings also supports long-term health. Chronic stress often begins with neglected recovery. Recovery is proactive, not reactive. Evenings are proactive care. When you respect evenings, you reduce the need for emergency fixes later. Mornings become less about pushing and more about directing. Directing requires clarity. Clarity requires rest. Rest requires respect. This is not about perfection. It is about awareness. Awareness of how choices ripple across time. Evenings are bridges to mornings. Strong bridges support smooth transitions. Weak bridges create strain. Respecting evenings strengthens the bridge. When you begin the day rested, you feel capable. Capability builds confidence. Confidence improves action. Action taken with confidence feels lighter. Light effort lasts longer. Lasting effort produces meaningful results. Those results reinforce the value of rest. This creates a healthy loop. Evenings feed mornings. Mornings shape days. Days build lives. Ignoring evenings breaks the loop. Respecting evenings repairs it. If you want better mornings, stop fighting the clock and start honoring recovery. Honor silence. Honor closure. Honor limits. These honors pay dividends. They show up quietly, in clearer thinking, in steadier emotions, in stronger follow-through, in mornings that feel possible. The quality of your life does not depend on how early you wake up. It depends on how well you let the day end. Respect the evening, the morning will thank you.